Not long after arriving at Roscrea in 1986, I put to the abbot the question of getting printed and published the work I had done in France, somewhat secretly, the work of translating the two long manuscripts, the Purgatory one and the Hell one. And he wasn't actually too favourable, so I saw that there was no point in insisting on that. But there was a pain because I was aware of the importance of the work. It's only really now that I've been able to do anything about it properly. And people are interested in its content, the book which contains the two manuscripts, because it is an idea given to us of what is awaiting us on the other side. And there are some things which are strangely modern. First of all, the fact that in the Hell manuscript we're handling a road accident. They're very frequent now, and people do go into the beyond, crashing into eternity like that without any preparation, and the consequences may indeed follow. And the other has many things which are strangely contemporary, even though the Purgatory manuscript goes back to the 1800s. And I would like to dwell on one passage which hit me today with regard to things which already in around 1882 were true. And if that were the case then, what would the Lord have to say now? So listen to this. If, says the nun in Purgatory, if only it were given you to understand how Jesus is treated with indifference and disdain upon earth, not only by ordinary people, how he is insulted, mocked, turned to derision, even by those who ought to love him. Thus it is that indifference is to be found in communities, amongst monks and nuns, his chosen people, in the very place in which he should be treated as a friend, a father, a spouse. He is much rather considered as a stranger. It is likewise to be found, this indifference, among the clergy. At present, more than ever before, Jesus is treated on equal terms. Does that ring a bell? Those who ought to tremble at the thought of the august mission with which they have been charged, more often than not, go through it with coldness. Yes, boredom. That's a long time ago. What would be said now? How many possess the spirit of interiority? It can be said that the real problem in the years following the Council, and indeed in our own day, with regard to the application of the grace of authentic renewal, was that this element of interiority wasn't accompanying it. When that is missing, all can go wrong. If interiority is there, controlling all, because God is being listened to and loved, things will follow positively. We often spend our time looking at the symptoms, the consequences, the problems that have followed, but the real illness is on that level. And until that level is handled, all the rest is still going to go wrong anyway. They are few and far between. Here, in Purgatory, the priests expiating their indifferences and their loveless lives are numerous. Their culpable negligences must be expiated by fire and tortures of all sorts. Judge from this how many the good Lord, who is so good, so loving towards his creatures, finds, who love him and console him. Alas, how few they are. This is the great suffering of Jesus' heart, ingratitude among his own. Now this sin of ingratitude is on many levels. It's also there on the level of unthankfulness for the grace of a vocation. It's also there on the level of unthankfulness in general. If we go through life with this leitmotif of praise you, Lord, thank you, Lord, rather than there would be a big difference in our mode of being on this side of eternity. This, then, is the great suffering of Jesus' heart, ingratitude among his own, and yet his sacred heart is utterly filled and flowing over with love. And all he seeks is the possibility of pouring it out. He would like to be able to find a few souls dead to themselves. If we were truly dead to ourselves, we wouldn't pay heed to the opinions of men, for they too have to look to their judge. Words have little weight compared with merit. What matters is that we please the Lord. He has the last word, and he also has the last word for all, including any who might want to have sharp words towards us. People who cause pain are actually in pain themselves. We can't get too spiritually close to those who are emitting venom. We have to go through life knowing how sometimes to circumnavigate rather than collide. We can't engage in depth with all who come our way. After all, we have a duty also of charity towards our soul and to the Lord who inhabits it. He needs a certain peace in our soul. And if we take on all the dynamics around us, we will have too much inside us. A certain simplicity helps enormously to intimacy with a true friend who is enough. Jesus would pour his love into them in waves, more than he has ever done to anyone hitherto. Oh, how little understood is Jesus, his mercy, his love upon earth. Men seek to know, to deepen their knowledge about everything, except the one thing that constitutes true happiness. How sad it all is. And so, in 1986, somewhat frustrated, I wrote these words while photocopying the typescript of the Purgatory manuscripts. A little page of print from the beyond. Another and another, where no eye may now alight and drink. For abbots warned would not tap out the magic sound. The sky and all that lies beyond it will remain as far, as closed, as sealed as air. And thou, mine unknown sister, shalt not speak again, nor tell the tale that must rest untold now. Forgotten maid, thou alone dost know the hours we sipped twixt this life and the next. None else shall share in time the ethereal glow that passed from thee to me, and to this text. Sweet sister, rest in peace. Rest on in peace. 'Tis better, perhaps, that hell's unrest should cease. Et puis, nay, sleep, ma sœur. Thou didst thy best. Today 'tis well. Tomorrow's damned seem blessed.